Live from the BDN Studios, it's Bang and Dang.
That's awesome.
If you don't like that, then
You ain't black.
It's Outlaws and Gunslingers, and we're moving on, rolling high, rolling hot.
moving on.
Tommy Guns a-blazing.
Part 2.
Part 2. Actually, we can't say that because part 2 literally means a unnecessary sequel or a dumb sequel almost. So
Right, it's true.
part 2 of Bonnie and Clyde. Part 1, we saw Bonnie and Clyde and his brother Buck and his wife Blanche and a couple other gang members over there just tearing up the Midwest, going from town to town.
Being teenage boys who do what boys who do, and the girls are going along for the ride.
Well, just being 20-something-year-old
Well, they
boys.
started off as 15, 16-year-olds doing this shit. So.
Over there raising hell, robbing stores.
Right. They're in the middle of nowhere. They know
Couple
they get away with
banks.
shit. It was still, what, 1930, 31?
Killing innocent people.
No, it's at 15, so it'd be like 20, 25, 26.
It was 1934 where we left off.
Where we started off from.
Oh, yeah, it was like 1920
20.
something.
Yeah.
When they were 17. Clyde Barrow got arrested for the first time, and the rest was his story.
Nice.
And they eventually killed so many people that Texas Ranger Frank Hammer was brought in to, he was a former Texas Ranger, he was brought in to be the relentless shadow of the Barrow gang.
Right.
And then they go on another little killing spree. They kill a highway patrolman, H.D. Murphy, and Edward Bryant Wheeler on Easter Sunday, April 4th, 1934. From there on,
we
go to the Grapevine killings.
They were national news from there on out.
Well, the Grapevine killings is where they public outrage. Now we're on to, for the first time ever during this little crime spree, Bonnie officially has a bounty on her head, $500 from Texas Governor Ma Ferguson.
Yep. So Bonnie's wanted now.
She's the one that is widely believed to have shot and killed H.D. Murphy. So now with a fucked up, burn up leg and everything.
And shot.
In the
leg.
And who knows what else. And then another constable got murdered by Barrow and one of his gang members. And even more public sympathy because the widow, his wife, they were about to be married. She goes to his funeral in a wedding dress. And
Oh, no.
the town is outraged. And this is where we pick up.
So they still don't got Meth Vin's identity because the warrant is for Bonnie and Clyde and
Well,
a John Doe. And a John Doe.
They never learned Methvin's name.
Nope.
Ever. They have arrest warrant for the Campbell murder, specified Clyde Barrow, Bonnie Parker, and John Doe, who was Methvin. For the first time ever, Bonnie was seen as a killer. Whatever chance she had for clemency has just been reduced. The Dallas Journal ran a cartoon on its editorial page showing an empty electric chair with a sign on it saying reserved, adding the words Clyde and Bonnie.
Wow.
Part 2 picks up off a fucking bang, literally. Barrow and Parker were killed on May 23rd, 1934 on a rural road in Bienville Parish, Louisiana.
If you guys ever watched the recent movie with Woody Harrelson and Kevin Costner called The Highwaymen, it depicts this very scene.
I would have fucking assumed since it's about Clyde and Bonnie.
Well, it's actually about the highwaymen, the two guys that were hired to fucking get him.
Really?
But I'm saying it depicts this scene really well. I think better than any other Bonnie and Clyde movie.
Well, Hammer had begun
Or
tracking
Hammer.
the gang on February 12, 1934. He led the posse. Obviously, he had studied the gang's movement and found that they swung in a circle, skirting the edges of 5 Midwestern states, exploiting the state line rule, which prevented officers pursuing a fugitive into another jurisdiction. Okay,
Right.
So finally, we also established in the first episode that this whole gang was the stupidest fucking gang
Dumb.
ever seen in my life. Did so much to attract attention. No wonder why fucking it happened the way it is. But at least this is one smart thing that they did, I guess.
Well, only for a minute until the law figured it out.
Until, right?
Right. Well, Barrow was consistent in his movements, so Hamer charted his path and predicted where he would go. He's like, you're going here.
Okay, so it's just now, I retract my previous statement because Barrow is literally traveling the same path every time he goes fucking around the state line. Little fucking, what a fucking
You
moron.
think he would like zigzag around, or
This dude's an idiot.
Right.
I conclude he might be the dumbest Outlaw we've covered so far.
So far, the gang's itinerary centered on family visits. Obviously, they always are at their families, and they were due to see Methvin's family in Louisiana, and they did. I believe. In case they were separated, Barrow had designated Methvin's parents' residence as a rendezvous, and then Methvin he became separated from the rest of the gang in Shreveport. Hamer's posse was composed of 6 men, Texas officers. That was Hamer himself, Hinton, Elkhorn, B.M. Maney Galt. I wonder what they call him, Maney. Is he a maniac?
I'm sure the M in that name is like Manier or something, you know? Like,
right. And then Louisiana officers Henderson Jordan and Prentice Morel Oakley. Prentice, yeah.
Morel Oakley?
Prentice Morel Oakley. How come we get the full names of the guys from Louisiana, but the Texas guys, we just get last names?
We only do last names and abbreviated first names.
And then the other known as.
Well, on a couple days before that fateful day, May 21st, the 4 posse members from Texas were in Shreveport when they learned that Barrow and Parker were planning a visit to Bienville Parish that evening with Methvin. But they didn't know Methvin at this point, so they're going. So how did they figure out Methvin?
They had to figure it out sooner or later.
Or they're just, I guess. The full posse set up an ambush along Louisiana State Highway 154 south of Gibbsland towards Sales. Hinton recounted that their group was in place by 9 p.m. and awaited through the whole of the next day, with no sign of the perpetrators. Other accounts said that the officers set up on the evening of May 22nd. So which is it, guys? I think they went and camped out the whole night, man.
Right.
Why not?
Right.
It's your one time to catch these fucking guys that you've been hunting.
Right. May 23rd at about 9:15 a.m. The posse were still concealed in the bushes and almost ready to give up when they heard the Ford V8 Barrow was driving, approaching at high speed. They're like, "Oh, boys, get your shit ready!" And everybody's hearts
They're
start
like, "This is
pounding.
a real fucking thing, bros." Yeah, I don't think
Right.
he said bros, but I mean, oh, dude, you imagine how fucking fast their hearts were racing when they seen that fucking car driving up.
You ain't kidding. In their official report,
And these guys literally, it wasn't just, well, you'll see, but the ambush wasn't just like they came out and started shooting, which they did, but they did some clever little fucking shit to get them to stop.
well,
Devious.
in the official
police.
report, they stated they had persuaded Ivy Methvin to position his truck along the shoulder of the road that very morning. So
What is his brother or his wife or something?
Yeah. Somebody.
Oh,
I
it's
don't
a
know who it
him.
was.
So yeah.
Probably one of the family members that they got something on. And he's gonna go away, and he's got
right.
a family. And he's like, well, he ain't never around, and I can't leave my family, right? They hoped Barrow would stop to speak with him, putting his vehicle close to Posse's position in the bushes. They're like, all right, he's gonna come through here. He's gonna see that it's you, and you're gonna pull over, and that's when we take him out, boys. When Barrow fell into the trap, just as they expected would happen or hoped, the lawman opened fire while the vehicle was still moving. Oakley fired his gun first, probably before any order to do so.
Well, you seeing them, dude. It's like they're still
Right.
moving. They don't even
The
know
order
if they're
was
slowing down.
shoot the fucking kill.
Right.
Why don't you see that bitch?
Oh, shit. Well, Barrow was killed instantly by Oakley's headshot, and Hinton reported hearing Parker scream. The officers fired about 130 rounds, emptying their weapons into the car. Nowadays, that would get sympathy from the fucking media and all that shit.
So think of that. Clyde's dead.
Excessive.
Clyde's dead with the first bullet.
First bullet. So 129 bullets were fired at Bonnie.
Bonnie.
I'm sure she got hit not too long after the first
Right.
10, I would assume.
Right. I hope so. Fuck. Wow.
So imagine they're still pumping rounds into fucking Clyde, even though he's been dead.
Yeah,
and he's just getting
bullets.
fucking filled with bullet holes, dude. That
Filled
is
with bullet holes.
Many in Bonnie and Clyde's wounds would have been fatal, yet the two had survived several bullet wounds over the years in their confrontations with the law.
All right.
What does that got to do with anything?
All right. What? Of course, that would have been fatal. I guarantee you they at least got 3 head wounds
dude,
each.
they at least got
3 head wounds each,
They got
at
like,
least.
They got like 10 fatal shots probably each. That is crazy.
Nuts. The bullet-ridden deluxe, originally owned by Ruth Warren of Topeka, Kansas, was later exhibited at the carnivals and fairs, then sold as a collector's item in the year of 1988. The Prim Valley Resort and Casino in Las Vegas purchased it for about $250,000, which is kind of low.
Well, I mean,
Well,
half
what
a
year
mil
was that?
today.
1988? No, that's a lot of money in 88, right? Probably almost $1 million. No?
No.
I would say.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe like 500.
Nah, I'd say about 8. Barrow's enthusiasm for cars was evident in a letter he wrote earlier in the spring of 1934. It was addressed to Henry Ford himself. It said, "While I still have got breath in my lungs, I would tell you what a dandy car you make. I have drove Fords exclusively when I could get away with one. For sustained speed and freedom from trouble, the Ford has got every other car skinned. And even if my business hasn't been strictly legal, it don't hurt anything to tell you what a fine car you got."
He's like, Mr. Henry Ford.
In the V8.
He's like, Mr. Henry Ford, every car of yours I've driven has been illegal.
Right. I've evaded the police successfully in your cars.
He's like, brilliant. Well, according to statements made by Hinton and Elkhorn, each of us 6 officers had a shotgun and an automatic rifle and pistols. We opened fire with the automatic rifles, obviously.
Right.
They were emptied before the car got even with us. Holy shit. Then we used the shotguns. There was smoke coming from the car, and it looked like it was on fire. After shooting with the shotguns, we emptied the pistols at the car.
Yeah, that was a massacre.
Yeah, dude.
That was a
That's a
massacre.
little excessive, man.
There was no other shots coming. Well, they wouldn't know.
We emptied the pistols at the car, which had passed us, and ran into a ditch about 50 yards on down the road. It almost turned over. We kept shooting at the car even after it stopped. We weren't taking any chances. Dude.
Wow. Wow.
This would almost 100% certainly be chastised by the media and fucking everybody today. Oh my God, so excessive. Defund the police.
If these guys, you ain't fucking kidding. You ain't kidding.
Holy shit, that's a hell of a story, though. These
Right.
guys, it was like the movies. It was like the movies. These guys were emptying one gun, throwing it down, getting another one,
ridiculous.
throwing it down. Oh, man.
It was like Keanu Reeves with endless fucking.
It's like a fucking John Wick. It was called.
Yeah, John
Frank
Wick.
Hames.
He
Frank,
got endless.
Frank Hamer.
He got endless fucking magazines. I don't know where the fuck he's finding these motherfuckers.
Speaking of John Wick, there's a website you can go to, not only for John Wick, but pretty much any movie that has like action and killing, and it'll count like the kills and with what, how they do it, like which weapon and all that shit, how many shots fired, how many bullets he fired, how many he missed, how many were hit,
Right,
how many
get it.
times he got hit, and
Get
all
it.
that shit. It's fun, good stuff. Every movie progressed, and like the fourth one or whatever, third one, he went from like 30 something in the first one to like 100 and whatever in the third one. So
Holy fuck.
yeah,
Ain't that some shit?
good stuff.
They should do one for the Marine with John Cena.
I'm sure they do.
Actual film footage taken by one of the deputies immediately after the ambush show 112 bullet holes in the vehicle,
Jeez, so out of 130, they only missed fucking 18.
of which around 1/4 struck the couple. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That is beyond ridiculous. And the first one already killed Clyde, so he had fucking 17 bullets that were unwarranted.
I know, dude. Like, what the fuck?
And I'm sure the first couple killed Bonnie.
Like they couldn't see that his fucking head snapped back and he's just
Right.
bleeding out of his fucking head.
Or just, yeah.
Jeez.
The official coroner's report by parish coroner Dr. J.L. Wade listed 17 entrance wounds. Sorry about that. Listed 17 entrance wounds on Barrow's body and 26 on that of Bonnie.
So 26, 36, 44 shots between the both of them.
Bonnie got shot 26 times because she was probably leaning over him.
She was on that side, I believe.
Yeah,
that
but
they
she
were
probably
shooting on.
she probably leaned over. No, she probably leaned over to after Clyde got hit.
Pretty sure yeah.
That's not driver. That's
all
the other
bullet-
side.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's
She's
right.
on the side that they were firing on, I'm pretty sure, right?
I don't remember.
Oh, no, this
it's
is the-
driver's side. Nope, they got.
Driver's side, so. Well, to be fair, I'm sure Clyde was probably slumped over the steering wheel, so they had nothing but clean shots at Bonnie.
Yeah, and she always a dead end, like the second shot probably. Let's see here. So it's 26 went into Bonnie, including several headshots on each.
That's crazy.
Several. That's 3 or more.
Right.
And one that had snapped Barrow's spinal column. Oh, damn. They just fucked this dude up.
So they shot him at the neck. And it probably went through and snapped the fucking spine right at the base of the neck. Or unless it, I don't know, it hit him in the back and snapped it. Either or, he got his fucking spinal column snapped.
It was so bad that the Undertaker had difficulty embalming the bodies because of all the bullet
The
holes.
liquid just oozing out of him. Fucking.
I wonder why Mark Calloway's such a bad motherfucker.
I know.
He had to deal with these guys. Well, anyway, the Undertaker's name was C.F. Boots Bailey.
Boots Bailey. See a
Look at the
picture of
Undertaker
all
here.
that-
Is that the Undertaker?
No, with it's a picture of all the ammo they recovered in the car.
I mean, they're fucking set. They could have done some damage if they actually had time to get out. They would have fucked them dudes up.
Fuck yeah. I guess they were right. Ain't taking no chances. They had more than a dozen guns and several thousand rounds of ammunition in the fort, including 120-round bar magazines. Holy shit.
Everywhere.
The deafened officers inspected the vehicle and discovered an arsenal of weapons, including stolen automatic rifles, sawed-off semi-automatics, shotguns, assorted handguns, and several thousand rounds of ammunition, along with 15 sets of license plates from various states. Damn.
Oh,
Hamer stated, "I hate to bust a cap on a woman, especially when she was sitting down.
Wait.
However, if it wouldn't have been her, it would have been us."
He said, I hate to bust the cap on a woman.
Yeah, man.
They said that in 1934?
I guess that's a direct quote from Hamer himself.
Wow.
I hate to bust the cap on a woman, especially when she was sitting down. However, if it wouldn't have been her, it would have been us.
That's true.
Good for you, Frank.
That's very
bust
true.
the cap on that bitch ass.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Word of the deaths quickly got around when Hamer, Jordan, Oakley, and Hinton drove into town to telephone their respective bosses.
I don't know why you had to do that part over.
Because I wanted to. A crowd soon gathered at the spot where Bonnie and Clyde laid their rest. Laid their rest?
They didn't lay the rest there.
No, laid their souls to rest, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Their bodies?
They weren't laid to rest at all.
Well, they died there.
I guess. Yes, they died there.
Right.
We'll compromise there.
Well, Galt and Alcorn were left to guard the bodies, but they lost control of the freaking people. They're like, no, we won't see what the hell's going on.
All right. All these people have never seen dead bodies
Right.
like that before, all bullet holed
And
up.
Bonnie and Clyde at that.
Right.
One woman out of the crowd cut off bloody locks of Parker's hair and pieces
shit.
from her dress, which were subsequently sold as souvenirs. Are they still around today? I want to know. Hinton returned to find a man trying to cut off Barrow's trigger finger.
Jeez.
Wow. And he was like, this is sickening.
It's like, I'm sickened by what is occurring.
This is sickening. Sick behavior.
Oh, my. Can you imagine that?
You're acting like these sons of bitches.
I know, right? Like, what the hell? Acting like these fucking maniacs in the car trying to cut off somebody's finger after they're already dead.
Right.
What the hell? It's got to be like a crime.
I can see like the bloody hair locks or something. I don't fucking know.
I don't know about that either.
Well,
It's
for
pretty
a
weird.
woman, she was probably fucking empowered by Bonnie's fucking...
I guess. Yeah, she probably loved
You're
her.
a true woman.
Right.
Standing up for your rights.
Well, arriving at the scene, the coroner reported nearly everyone had begun collecting souvenirs such as shell casings, slivers of glass, shell cases I could see, slivers of
Right.
glass from the shattered car windows, bloody pieces of clothing from the garments of Bonnie and Clyde. One eager man had opened his pocket knife and was reaching in the car to cut off Clyde's left ear. Oh, my
no.
God.
Why do you want his left ear?
What is up with these
He's
guys?
like, no, I don't want that ear. Turn him around.
Well, I mean, driver's side, so, I mean, it's the only one you can get at.
That's true.
These crowds are animals. Somebody
Animals.
should have fired a damn shot in the sky. Well, they wasted all their bullets, so they didn't have nothing. So.
Right, we have no more guns. How can we fucking hold back this crowd? They're like, I don't know.
Well, I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Yes.
We're going in town to call our fucking
That's
bosses.
fucking
About to get my raise,
crazy.
bitch.
It's right. I'm
Anything else happens is on you.
About to get all this money.
Well, I don't know. We left these two guys there. They're well capable. Those guys were never police officers again. Fucking poor, what was his name? Galton.
Galton Elkhorn,
Yep.
right?
You don't hear too much of Galton Elkhorn, do you?
Sure don't.
Except for they allowed this shit to happen.
Well,
So
now
that
we
means
know.
they allowed people to come in and alter the crime scene.
I don't think it mattered if the crime scene was altered. It's 130 fucking bullets, 117 fired.
That's fucked up.
That is a little excessive. I mean,
That
I'm not
was.
one to sympathize with criminals, but that's a little fucking excessive.
I mean, I believe there should have been like a standoff like they did, but I don't think they should have fucking.
Well, they are true though, because how many times have we learned in part one where the fucking feds show up and Bonnie and them start fucking firing immediately?
Okay, so you wait for that. I'm sorry if you have to take one in the chest. That's how you do it. You come in and you give.
Or
them
you maybe open a couple rounds. All right, hold fire, and then
Right.
see what the fuck's going
you don't
on.
Shoot at the car. Yeah, you just fucking shoot over the car or something.
I don't know. You shoot in the car. They were wanted dead or alive. There's no asking questions at this point.
They weren't wanted dead or.
Yes, they were. It was $500 on their head.
Yeah, if they can give themselves up. This wasn't back in the fucking 70s, 1870s, where you get a bounty.
Right. It was still the 30s. It was a bounty, pretty much. Didn't you just hear the fucking governor had $500 on their head, which is a bounty?
$500.
Well, I mean, it's a couple thousand today's money. A few thousand, actually. 1934. But yeah, you at least fucking open fire. Everybody opens fire 10, 12 shots apiece.
Right.
And then you stop fire. You hold fire. What's going on here? Are they moving? No, let's approach the car with our guns drawn.
Right, but they didn't.
They just fucking
They went excessive.
massacred these motherfuckers.
Excessive.
Dude. Massacred.
I guess it was warranted. They killed, 53 people, I think it said in this article, or this show that we did. I think it's 53.
Bonnie and Clyde?
Yeah, I think it's 53.
No,
It was on show one.
Frank Hamer killed 53 people. In the course of law, he brought down 53 people by killing them.
Holy shit. This guy just
he's
a murderer. So he didn't bring him in anyway.
He's a known fucking murderer.
He was like...
Not a murderer, but he's a known suspect killer.
His handcuffs are in the cop like museum as being the oldest unused handcuffs.
The oldest continuously used but unused handcuffs. He's like, I've never had to latch these at all.
The keys were still attached to the handcuffs.
They were still in the plastic wrapping that they came in. I don't know if they come in plastic wrapping.
Yeah, they might have.
You know what I'm saying?
Back then it was probably burlap.
Right. Burlap.
I don't fucking know.
I don't think they got packages in burlap.
Yeah, why not?
That could be. I'm sure they all came in a box of more than one. I don't think there was just like a single set of a handcuff sold.
Oh, for the police when they get them? I don't
Right.
know. You're getting fucking thousands.
Well, I don't know about that, but
Hundreds, however many big your city is.
probably like 6. Pretty much.
Well, anyway, Hinton enlisted Hamer's help in controlling the circus-like atmosphere that was going on by the fucking crime scene here. It's crazy. They're like, dude, you're going to have to do something, man. Did you make your call? I sure did. He's like, I'm done, man. He's like, no, I did my job. I got to go right up in the sunset. It's not what happened, though.
It's not what happened at all.
So Hinton enlisted Hamer, and they got fucking people out. They're like, come on, back up, you sons of bitches. We got them. The posse towed the Ford with the dead bodies still inside the car.
They're just towing this damn... What? The most careless... Okay, episode 1 was pretty much me just talking shit about how stupid and careless
fucking Clyde
Bonnie and
was.
Clyde were.
Right.
And then fucking now, these cops are got to be the dumbest people I've ever seen.
I don't know what's going on here. Yeah.
What happened to integrity of the crime scene and like all this shit? Like,
it wasn't even that. These guys were not even like fucking hitting the beat cops. They were fucking private investigators or retired cops, weren't they?
Frank was a retired Texas Ranger, yeah.
Right.
The other ones were like deputies and shit, yeah.
Well, because he could deputize, yeah. So basically, this was a prime example of the 1870s, 1880s fucking small town sheriff hiring a badass lawman to fucking go take down a bully, right here. But it turned out to be even worse.
I don't recall any Wild West story we had where the posse guns down 130 bullets into 2 people.
Not 132, but
Not that many. And usually it's just like a couple shots in the back or the head or something like that. They had a little bit more respect, I guess.
yeah, this was poor.
Plus, there was no machine guns back in the little Wild West days.
Right, this was poor fucking poor criminalizing and poor deputizing.
Yeah, this whole fucking story so far is a shit show.
Right.
These people don't know how to crime.
I don't
they don't. They don't. The Barrows don't know how to crime,
See,
and
that's
the
what
fucking cops
love
don't know how
about
to police.
doing this show that we're doing here. I've watched millions of movies on Bonnie and Clyde. I've watched millions of movies on Wyatt Earp, Wild Bill.
Millions?
Well, not millions.
How do you have all that time?
You know what I mean? Not millions. I watched thousands. Can I say not even thousands? So it's all lies.
You haven't even watched.
It's all lies.
You haven't even watched. You haven't even watched hundreds. You watched tens.
I watched tens. Yeah.
I watched tens of movies.
I watched tens of movies on
probably a total of 10
of each character.
If we're being
least.
honest,
I've watched at least.
No, you've never seen no fucking 10 movies that have centered around Wyatt Earp. You've seen 2.
Not centered.
You've seen 2.
I've seen at least 3 Wild Bill movies. Wild Bill. Or Wyatt Earp.
Wyatt Earp.
Wyatt Earp. I've seen at least 3 movies centered on Wyatt Earp.
No.
And
you've seen Tombstone and Wyatt Earp. That's it.
I don't know. There's like multiple fucking 30s, 40s, 50s.
And you never watched
60s.
one of them.
Oh, yeah. I've been watching them. If you go on my TV, I guarantee you if they haven't changed channel, it's still on Stars fucking Western. I've been watching fucking 40s, 50s, 60s Westerns for the past month. I was watching one earlier today.
Oh, good for you. What do you want, a fucking medal?
And they don't show too much spaghetti Westerns, which I like. You know what spaghetti Westerns are. A little funky. And enlisted Hamer's help in controlling the circus-like atmosphere, and they got people away from the car. Like, come on, guys.
All right.
Now they want to be fucking
Well, yes, we know they towed with the dead bodies.
Right. We know, yep, the posse towed the Ford with the dead bodies still inside the car. They towed it to Conger. It's either Conger or Conger. It's Conger furniture store and funeral parlor. Damn, you can buy your couch to sit on for the rest of your life, and then the fucking casket that you're gonna die in.
Right, like we got your fucking beginning and your end right here.
Right here.
We got your fucking living comfort, and we got your dead comfort.
Dumbasses. And this was located in downtown Arcadia, Louisiana.
Okay.
Preliminary embalming was done by Bailey himself.
Boots Bailey.
In a small preparation room in the back of the furniture store, as it was common for furniture stores and undertakers to share the same space.
It makes sense. They're probably, they
it's
got
the same business.
They got to build.
It's the same fucking
there's
business.
Wood. Pretty much, there's wood. Wood to build furniture. Wood to build fucking caskets.
Yeah. I mean, they sell furniture store sells beds.
Right.
I'm
there's
telling
nothing
you.
more.
This will be the last bed you ever buy.
Right.
Come check this out, guys.
The population of the northwest Louisiana town reportedly swelled from 2,000 to 12,000 within hours. Well, not like the permanent population, but people came.
Right.
Curious throngs of people arrived by train, horseback, buggy, and plane. Jeez,
Wow.
even taking the early plane, like we gotta
Right.
do this. Beer normally sold for 15 cents a bottle, but it jumped to 25 cents, and sandwich was quickly sold out.
Just think of that stat right there.
Dude, this is like.
Think of that stat right
Think
there.
of this. This is like the equivalent of like an all-star game coming to a city or something.
And look at inflation, basically. That's inflation at the best.
That's what I'm saying. A picture like an all-star game or something coming to a city. Like all these merchants around the event are capitalizing off all these people that are coming. This is exactly what all these saloon owners are like, yeah.
As long as it went back down to 15 cents after everybody was left, I'm good with that.
Well, they confirmed that Barrow had been shot in the head by a 35 Remington Model 8.
Yeah, like the first shot, it murdered his face.
Right. Well, Henry Barrow, Clyde's daddy, identified his son's body, then sat weeping in a rocking chair in the furniture section.
I mean,
Can you imagine that scene? The fucking hordes of people are in talking about, oh my God,
Right.
and then there's his dad just fucking crying his eyes
Right.
out in the rocking chair.
and you know what the
fucking
shitty part
store.
of that? The owners and the workers of the stores are like, well, who's going to be they're fighting for the
I was gonna say this is the chair that Clyde's daddy wept in
Like,
after.
that's my section. No, motherfucker, that's my section. Like, this is my store. That's my section.
This is the chair that Clyde's daddy wept in after identifying his son's body.
Price tag says fucking.
I guarantee
$129.
that was marked like that and sold as that. It's ruthless, dude. Ruthless.
I mean, it's
Crazy, dude.
fucking. It's not even
Anything
America.
to capitalize.
It's life.
All right.
You capitalize on what you can. You got to do anything you can that is moral enough for you, I guess.
Whatever your morals are, right? I
to
guess.
survive. I mean, I get it. H.D. Darby was an undertaker at McClear Funeral Parlor, and Sophia Stone was a home demonstration agent, both from nearby Ruston. Both of them came to Arcadia to identify the bodies.
Oh, dude.
Because the Barrow gang had
Isn't
kidnapped
that the ones
them.
that kidnapped?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In 1933, a year prior, these two were kidnapped, and they let them
Okay, right.
go. Yeah, that.
They couldn't identify Methvin then, though. They never identified them. But
So they couldn't even really identify.
No, they identified
and
that it was
Clyde.
Bonnie and Clyde because they're the ones that told them that they kidnapped them.
Right, that's what I'm saying, but nobody could really. I
Well,
guess.
the dad did.
Right, so why'd they call these guys in? Just to make sure, to give them more evidence for their backing? I bet that's what it is. And we brought all these people in identified as Bonnie
Had
and
to
Clyde.
confirm them. Anybody that ran into them. Mm-hmm. Now they're
Right.
trying to cover all their tracks. Like, are
Right.
we really sure these are these guys?
Like, you guys really fucked them up. You better have
You guys just fired fucking 117 shots into them, and
you better have every fucking piece of evidence for fucking 7 years.
yeah,
back.
you guys better be fucking damn sure these guys are who they are, or who
Shit.
you say they are.
Fuck.
Jeez.
Parker reportedly had laughed when she discovered that Darby was an undertaker. Okay.
When they kidnapped him.
All right. She remarked that maybe someday he would be working on her. And
ironically,
I don't know if he worked on her. Oh, there we go. Next sentence. And Darby did, in fact, assist Bailey in the embalming.
sure did. We're looking at a picture of Bonnie Parker's grave, which is inscribed as the flowers are all made sweeter by the sunshine and the dew. So this old world is made brighter by the lives of folks like you.
Well,
I don't know about that, Bonnie. Well, Bonnie and Clyde wished to be buried side by side, but the Parker family would not allow that shit. Her mother wanted to grant her final wish to be brought home, but the mob surrounding the Parker house made that impossible.
wow.
More than 20,000 attended Parker's funeral, and her family had difficulty reaching her gravesite. Wow.
Holy shit.
Parker's services were held on May 26th. Dr. Alan Campbell recalled that flowers came from everywhere, including some with cards allegedly from Pretty Boy Floyd and John Dillinger, public enemy number one himself.
Wow.
20,000 people just to see old Bonnie, huh? Bonnie was the
Wow.
more popular than the First Lady.
The largest floral tribute was sent by a group of Dallas City newsboys. The sudden end of Bonnie and Clyde sold 500,000 newspapers in Dallas alone.
Jeez.
Parker was buried in Fish Trap Cemetery, although she was moved in 1945 to the new Crown Hill Cemetery in Dallas.
Dang, dude. What were newspapers? We'll say even 5 cents a piece?
Maybe 5 cents. Probably 5 cents back then, yeah. Maybe 10 cents.
Oh, so it only gathered about $100,000 bucks, but still, it's a lot of money, right?
Well, if it was 10 cents, it'd be more than that.
Dollar, a newspaper would be $500,000.
Right, yeah, so go back.
Man, it's about $100,000 they made off newspapers in Dallas alone.
Well, it's probably all profit because the shit don't cost nothing.
Right. Thousands of people gathered outside both Dallas funeral homes hoping for a chance to view the bodies. Barrow's private funeral was held at sunset on May 25th. He was buried in Western Heights Cemetery in Dallas next to his brother Marvin.
So, nobody came to fucking Clyde's. Yeah, they gave Bonnie all the glory.
Of course. Well, his brother Marvin and him shared a single granite marker with their names on it and an epitaph that was selected by Clyde that said, "Gone but not forgotten."
Well, you definitely won't be forgotten,
Well,
Clyde.
you ain't forgotten. Your brother is, but you ain't.
Well,
I guess. See, maybe he
brother
did
still.
that on purpose.
His brother still.
He chose to be in there with his brother, so that way they'd have to read both their names. And he's like, yeah.
Right.
He's like, well, I'm going to be famous. It's like in Dewey Cox.
I'm going to be famous.
I'm going to be famous for the both of us.
Yep, for the both of us. Damn. Well, the bullet-riddled Ford and the shirt that Barrow was wearing have been in the casino of Whiskey Pete's.
Whiskey Pete's.
Prim, Nevada since 2011. Previously, they were on display at the Prim Valley Resort and Casino, which we said earlier, I believe. The American National Insurance Company of Galveston, Texas, paid the insurance policies in full on both Parker and Barrow. In full.
Whoa. So, wait. Whoever was these guys' benefactors got paid probably, huh?
Right.
Well, there's a good reason what I'm about to say happened. Since then, the policy of payouts has changed to exclude payouts in cases of deaths caused by any criminal activity by the insured person. The 6 men of the posse were each to receive 1/6 share of the reward money, and Dallas Sheriff Schmid had promised Hinton that his total would come to $26,000.
A lot of money back then.
But most of the organizations that had pledged rewards funds reneged on their pledges.
Wow.
And in the end, each lawman earned $200.23 for his efforts and collected memorabilia.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Wonder why they reneged. Did they fucking...
I think they had to pay a lot in the way they murdered them.
I was going to say, like...
I think that changed everything.
Did they be like, dude, you guys fucking
I
really
wanna know-
excessive.
Right.
here.
I want to know the
Like,
private, behind the scenes of this story.
Fuck.
Because I guarantee you that something happened. He was like, I got to do a lot of shit here to fix this. So that money I promise you, I
Right,
got to pay the other
yeah.
fucking people.
Yeah.
Idiots. But thanks.
All right. Thanks, but idiots.
Yeah. By the summer of 1934, new federal statutes made bank robbery and kidnapping federal offenses.
Okay.
Which they should have been because bank robbing has been going
I know.
fucking forever.
I was just going to say, all the problems they had with bank robberies in the fucking Old West, and they just now make it federal offense.
Like, this shit's getting out of hand. Now they got guns and fast V8 Fords.
Right. It's been 70 years, I know, since people have been robbing banks religiously.
Right. How about we make this into a fucking law? They're like, I guess.
Oh, my.
The growing
It
court.
just makes me think fucking 1930s fucking criminals and cops were just idiots.
20s, 30s, they're all fucking dumb.
Stupid.
The growing coordination of local authorities by the FBI, plus two-way radios and police cars,
Uh-oh.
combined to make it more difficult to carry out serious robberies and murders than it had been just months before. So finally, like, you know what? We got all these radios hanging around here.
They're like, you know these little radios that you said would never be practical?
They always yell at us for playing around in the back room.
What about if we put one in each car and then we can talk to each other?
Right. They're like, that's genius.
Wow.
Well, 2 months later, after Gibbsland, Dillinger was killed on the street in Chicago. 3 months after that, Floyd was killed in Ohio. And 1 month after that, Babyface Nelson, moited, Illinois.
So fucking 5 of the most wanted criminals, dude, at this time. Murdered all within literally, 5 months of each other?
Right after, right.
Bonnie and Clyde, Dillinger.
All of them.
Babyface and fucking Pretty Boy Floyd. Fucking gone.
And we will fucking know the stories of all of these guys.
We will know the stories of all of these guys, yes. Obviously.
That's nuts, guys. So there's something going on in the 30s. I think the government was like, all right, we fucked up with prohibition and illegal crime, organized crime is taking control. We just got to just go in and just murder these guys. I'm sorry. Fuck the law. Just murder these motherfuckers. And they're like, are you sure? I'm like, they did it with Bonnie and Clyde just to see how things work out. I mean, come on.
Well, I think Bonnie and Clyde proved that you can just go and just gun down a fucking one of these.
These two were loved. Well, at least Bonnie was.
Well, you could still just go and gun down these motherfuckers, no question asked.
Right. And they did it.
And they did it.
They fucking
did it, dude.
Parker's, right. Bonnie's niece and last surviving relative is campaigning to have her, my great aunt. I want her buried next to Barrow.
Good for her. Well, the old posse that gunned down Bonnie and Clyde, they distrusted one another and kept to themselves. They didn't even talk. They're like, we're just on this fucking mission.
They all had their separate deals, but they all knew they had to work together.
And they each had their own agenda in the operation and offered different narratives of it.
Right.
Simmons, who was the head of the Texas DOC, brought another perspective, having effectively commissioned the posse.
Right.
Schmidt had tried to arrest Barrows in Sowers, Texas in November 1933. Schmidt called halt, and gunfire erupted from the outlaw car, which made a quick U-turn and sped away. Schmidt's Thompson's machine gun jammed on the first round. Schmidt's Tommy gun jammed on the first round. He could not get off one shot. Pursuit of Barrow was impossible because the posse had parked their cars at a distance to prevent their being seen, obviously. Right?
Wow. So he's got a personal agenda there.
So
I'd let this motherfucker get away.
There's the backstory, though, a little bit more backstory.
Right.
Schmidt called halt, and they shot at him. So now what you're about to reveal to us is why they just opened fire.
Well, Hamer's posse discussed calling halt, but the 4 Texans vetoed the idea. They're like, nah, telling them that the killer's history had always been to shoot their way out.
They're like, yeah, dude, what we're going to say halt, and they're going to fire at us? No, we ain't taking a chance.
Which is previously occurred as their selling point of shoot first, ask questions later. They're like, I mean, take a look at Platte City. Take a look at.
You all remember Dexfield Park?
The Sowers. Come on.
All right. So you even called halt in Sowers.
Right. When the ambush occurred, Oakley stood up and opened fire. He was like, I ain't waiting for nothing. And the other officers opened fire immediately after. Jordan was reported to have called out to Barrow. Elkhorn said that Hamer called out as well. And Hinton claimed that Elkhorn did it too.
Wait, so Jordan...
They're like, stop, police.
Jordan called out to Barrow. Elkhorn that said that Hamer called out. Hinton claimed that Acorn did. So nobody even knows who was the first one to call out to them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm thinking they all did it at the same time.
No.
In another report, each said that they both did. These conflicting claims might have been collegial. Collegial attempts to divert the focus from Oakley, who clearly...
Oh, remember he said that?
Oh, you went out of orders, damn it.
He fired without orders, probably.
Who later admitted to firing early.
Oh.
But, he said, it's still speculation.
They're trying to cover his ass for just opening fire without being told to.
Right.
In 1979, Hinton's account of the saga was published posthumously as Ambush, the real story of Bonnie and Clyde.
Nice.
Well, his version of the Methvin family's involvement in the planning and execution of the ambush was that the posse had tied Methvin's father, Ivy, to a tree the previous night to keep him from warning off the couple.
Oh.
Look at these guys, dude. They're kidnapping people, tying them to a tree and shit.
Wait a minute. He thought, okay, I'll just tell him and they'll just run off and tell the rest of the
right.
He was like, no. See, the thing
Did they really have to tie him to the tree? They just couldn't throw him in the back of the damn cop car?
No.
Have somebody guard him?
Yeah, it was probably like sickness because he's a fucking. I'm like, we're taking out your kind, motherfucker.
What's that got to do with anything?
Because they want to torture as much as they can. They couldn't torture Bonnie and Clyde.
I mean, I guess, but holy shit, if that's made public, then come on, man. it just gets more excessive and fucked up as we go along.
Police are fucked up motherfuckers.
Police are fucked up motherfuckers. Everyone has faced the problem. What gift to choose? What to give yourself when you sit at home? What to give your friend or parents? What to give your wife or husband? What to give your children or colleague at work? Well, Unidragon and their wooden puzzles has this problem solved. Why do people love Unidragon puzzles? Well, each puzzle piece has its own unique shape. It's interesting for adults and children. Each puzzle is packed in a premium wooden gift box. So no flimsy cardboard tearing, the edges fall apart. You know how it goes. New puzzles are released every month, and they have an incredibly colorful design. You will not regret checking this product out. Not only is it an excellent and unique gift for others, but it can be a gift for yourself. There's no better gift than one for yourself, right? They're perfect for a nice, relaxing afternoon, and figuring out the puzzle will help keep your mind sharp. So you can go to unidragon.com and use the code OUTLAWS for 10% off your order. They got pretty cool looking wolf. The animal ones are pretty sweet. They got a wolf one, a fox one, a lion one. And the best thing about these ones that I really like is every shape of the puzzle is a shape of a different animal. So you're kind of figuring that out. It's not just boring little puzzle pieces that you got to try to fit together, and they're made of nice sturdy wood. They also have ones you can get a big map of the world and hang it on your wall, a big wooden one, and pin out your destinations you want to go. They got everything that anybody could ever want for a puzzle, anything that you would ever need. So it wouldn't be too hard to find a puzzle for somebody you love, or even for yourself for those rainy days. So head on over to unidragon.com for the most unique, creative, and challenging puzzles out there, and use the code OUTLAWS and let them know we sent you and get that 10% discount.
Hinton claimed that Hamer made a deal with Ivy. If he kept quiet about being tied up, his son would escape prosecution for the 2 grapevine murders. He was like,
"Oh, so Ivy was hitting or fucking Methin's daddy."
Like, we just let you. We will let him go. We'll
So
let him go.
But the thing is, he knew that Methvin was already at his house. I'm assuming because Methvin had separated from the group and they were supposed to meet at his parents' house.
Right.
That was the rendezvous point.
Right.
So his dad already knew his son wouldn't be there, so he's like, "Yeah, fuck it. I don't fuck these guys. They're getting my son in all boatload of trouble, anyways." I don't see why he wouldn't go along with it.
Why wouldn't you not?
Right.
Why would you fucking not? I would have. Hinton alleged that Hamer made every member of the posse swear that they would never divulge this secret. Never. This just fucking stays between us, you sons of bitches. We need to get these motherfuckers off this fucking planet. This is the only way to damn do it. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Other accounts, however, place Ivy at the center of the action. Not tied up, but on the road.
Wait.
Waving for Barrow to stop the vehicle.
Hinton saying even when Clyde and Bonnie pulled up.
Wait a minute.
Hinton saying that even when Clyde and Bonnie pulled up,
Right.
Ivy was still tied to the tree.
They just had his car parked.
They just had his truck parked on the side,
like, "Oh, isn't
hoping that Clyde would fucking recognize
Isn't
it.
that Ivy's truck? Well, it sure is.
Right.
Let's stop and take a
But
look.
why would that make sense? How would he know what the fuck Ivy's truck looks like? There's plenty of trucks around there that probably look the same.
Right, they would never,
Number one.
Right. I don't believe
So
that
it makes
story.
more sense that
I
the
believe
dude was on the road.
I believe Ivy was on the road.
He was like, hey,
Right,
right. I mean, come on.
I believe that
That makes
part.
more fucking sense.
Maybe they did time to tree overnight.
Overnight, maybe, to keep
And
him
then-
there.
right.
Right. But I don't think he was tied up while Bonnie and Clyde were fucking driving down the street. That just doesn't make any sense at all.
Right.
Well, Hinton's memoir suggests that Parker's cigar in the famous cigar photo had been a rose, and that it was retouched as a cigar by darkroom staff at the Joplin Globe.
Most likely.
Okay. While they prepared the photo for publication, Gwynn says that some people who knew Hinton suspect that he became delusional late in life.
Okay.
So now they're saying that Hinton don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Right.
All this shit never happened. All this pretty much borderline illegal shit that they did never happened.
Right.
Look at these guys fucking covering up their tracks, man.
Wow.
And I didn't even hear about that before.
Right.
That it had been a rose that they
Fucked up.
kind of early Photoshop, pretty much.
Right. Oh, yeah, the cigar thing and all
Yeah.
that, yeah. Well, the posse never received the promised bounty on the perpetrators. Wonder why. So they were told to take whatever they wanted from the confiscated items in their car. Hamer appropriated the arsenal of stolen guns. He was like, I'll take the guns and the ammo.
Damn, this dude took the gun, the ammos.
He was like, oh, shit, I like that fiction tackle box there. All right.
Holy shit.
Right, that's what he was
So
like.
what did everybody else get?
Texas DOC was like, all right, go ahead. No, there's nothing else to get.
The fishing tackle I could see, but guns and ammunition, why'd he get to keep them all?
Well, maybe he was promised the $26,000. Nobody else was.
That's fucked up. No,
Right.
they were all promised something. No,
Yeah,
the
but
one
not
guy,
$26,000.
Hinton, was promised $26,000.
Was it Hinton?
Yeah.
I thought it was Hamer.
No, Hinton was promised 26.
And got nothing.
Everybody got like $200.
$220.
Well, in July, Clyde's mother, Kumi, wrote to Hamer asking for the return of the guns. She says, "You don't never want to forget my boy was never tried in no court for murder, and no one is guilty until proven guilty by some court, so I hope you will answer this letter and also return the guns I'm asking for."
Right.
Well, unfortunately for her, there is no record of any response by Hamer. He's like, "Fuck you, bitch,
She
I'm keeping
wanted
these
the guns.
guns."
She wanted the guns because
She was probably going to sell them.
Yeah, she's poor as
she's
fuck.
like, "These my son's guns."
right, my son's guns.
My son's
Open a
guns.
new store. My son's guns. Still selling today. But like, how did fucking this
How
dude
fucking
own
you
on
sold-
these guns?
You sold 330,000 guns in the last 8
This
years.
gun didn't come out till last year. How did fucking Clyde own it? That's what I want to know.
Well, if he would have owned it.
Right.
This is a gun. There's a whole section in the store.
Right.
Guns my son would have owned.
All right. Right. We still go through the same fucking dealer that he did. Same family line. Ridiculous. Anyway, Elkhorn claimed Barrow's saxophone. He was like,
Okay.
I want that saxophone. So he got that. But he later returned to the Barrow family. He's
Oh,
like,
good for him.
It's not worth nothing. I tried selling it.
Right? He's like, that's
I
probably
don't
why they were
want
like,
it.
what the fuck I want to do
The thing's
this.
fucking huge.
First of all, everybody that's buying it was like, is there a photo of him with the saxophone?
Right.
They're
No.
like, not that I know of.
No.
They're like, yeah, I don't want this.
You know, I mean, if you had a picture of him with the saxophone, that'd be decent. Or if you would put the saxophone next to him, next to his dead body after you murdered
Took a
him,
picture,
after you
right.
ambushed him, that'd have been
Or
good.
like, took a finger of blood and wiped it on the saxophone or something. At least
Something like
his
that.
blood's on the
Right.
saxophone, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Right. Posse members also took other personal items, such as Parker's clothing. They
Yes.
ripped her naked. They just want to see her naked, sick bastards.
Let's see what this bitch look like nude. Oh shit, that's a fucked up leg. Damn.
Oh, shit. Her one titty's got a bullet hole in it.
Holy fuck, her face is gone. I stand to her. Shut up, Clem.
The Parker family asked for them. Well, the Parker family asked for them back, but refused.
Of course they were.
Like, no.
Well, I don't
And the
have to give
items
them
were
back.
later sold as souvenirs.
Oh, well. The Barrow family also claimed that Sheriff Jordan kept an alleged suitcase of cash. And writer Jeff Gwynn claims that Jordan bought a barn and land in Arcadia soon after the event,
I bet he
thereby
did.
hinting that the accusation had merit, despite the complete absence of any evidence to the existence of such a suitcase. Of course, he's not going to tell people there was a suitcase full of cash.
Of course not.
Jordan did attempt to keep the death car for his own, but Ruth Warren of Topeka, Kansas sued him because she was the owner of the car when Barrow stole
it's
it and
only
on April
way.
29th.
Only way she got that back. Wow.
Well, Jordan returned it to her in August of 1934, still covered with blood and human tissue. He's like,
Oh,
fine,
no.
bitch. Fine, bitch. You want this car?
Yeah, you can take it. 1935, month was February. Dallas and federal authorities arrested and tried 20 family members and friends for aiding and abetting Barrow and Parker. This became known as the harboring trial, and all 20 either pleaded guilty or found guilty. The two members were jailed for 30
Two
days.
members?
Both mothers were jailed for 30 days. Other sentences ranged from 2 years imprisonment. That was Floyd Hamilton and brother of Raymond.
Raymond Hamilton, who was an early gang
Right.
member, right?
Right. To 1 hour in custody for Barrow's teenage sister, Marie. So, Clyde's sister had to be 1 hour in custody. That's it.
Well, yeah, they probably just questioned her.
Right. That's all. And then Floyd Hamilton was in imprisonment for 2 years. That is.
He obviously let them stay the night at his house or some shit. You know?
Right.
I would
defend-
assume so.
Right. Other defendants included Blanche, Jones, Methvin, Methvin himself, and Parker's sister, Billy.
And Parker's sister, Billy.
So they still didn't know. Dude, Methvin is the most lucky guy in the world.
Right.
What happens to this guy? He was with all.
Well, Methvin he escaped prosecution for the 2 Grapevine, Texas murders because of his father's cooperation with the posse. See, they lived up to it, but he was eventually prosecuted for other crimes in Oklahoma, where he was convicted and served 8 years.
Okay.
Unrelated to the Barrow gang, I would believe, though. Or maybe not.
Nah, probably not.
Probably not. Blanche was permanently blinded in her left eye during the 1933 shootout at Dexfield Park.
Remember that?
Yeah, she was taken into custody on the charge of assault with intent to kill.
Okay.
She was convicted and sentenced to 10 years in prison, but was paroled in 1939 for good behavior, serving 6 of those. Okay. She returned to Dallas, leaving her life of crime in the past, and lived with, I would fucking hope so, everybody's dead now, and lived with her invalid father as his caregiver. Okay. 1940, she married Eddie Frazier, worked as a taxicab dispatcher and a beautician, and completed the terms of her parole 1 year later.
Nice.
She lived in peace with her husband until he died of cancer in 1969.
What happened to her?
Then what happened to her?
What happened to her?
After there was no more peace after 1969 for her. But good for her. She went on with her life and fucking made a turned her shit around, just like you're supposed to do when you get out of prison.
Yeah, it should happen.
Right.
Warren Beatty approached her to purchase the rights to her name for use in the 1967 film Bonnie and Clyde.
Okay.
And she agreed to the original script.
Original.
However, she objected.
That's the first however in this whole
That was the
episode
one
so
before
far.
and you missed it. She objected to her characterization by Estelle Parsons in the final film, describing the actress's Academy Award-winning portrayal of her as a screaming horse's ass.
Because she probably portrayed her as a fucking stupid bitch or something.
Right.
I'm going to have to go back and watch that 1967 film Bonnie and Clyde, which earned Estelle Parsons an Academy Award,
Right.
first of all.
And what is it called? Bonnie and Clyde,
Bonnie and Clyde,
1967.
1967.
Oh, I've seen that. It's fucking great.
I don't think you have.
Yeah. Fantastic. Despite this, she maintained a firm friendship with Betty.
Okay.
She's like, you know what? We can get past this. She died from cancer, though, at the age of 77 on 24th of December 1988, Christmas Eve. That's a terrible Christmas day for that family.
I know, dude. Like,
she couldn't wait another day. Wow. She was buried in Dallas's Grove Hill Memorial Park under the name Blanche B. Frazier.
I would assume so, right? Well, on the other side of things, Barrow cohorts Hamilton and Palmer, who escaped Eastham in January 1934, which started this whole manhunt and all that stuff,
Right.
They were recaptured. Both were convicted of murder and executed in the electric chair at Huntsville, Texas on May 10th, 1935. Oh, they died together. Jones had left Barrow and Parker 6 weeks after the three of them evaded officers at Dexfield Park in July 1933.
They didn't get justice for Dexfield, and they got it now.
Right. He reached Houston and got a job picking cotton, where he was soon discovered and captured. He was returned to Dallas, where he dictated a confession, quote unquote, in which he claimed to have been kept a prisoner by Barrow and Parker. Some of the more lurid lies that he told concerned the gang's sex lives, and this testimony gave rise to many stories about Barrow's ambiguous sexuality. Wait, so is he claiming that Barrow liked to fuck guys now?
I think it was like that movie I seen where it was loosely based off Bonnie and Clyde. And
So Barrow was fucking dudes? Is that what you're saying?
I think he like dudes fucking his wife and maybe getting in on it or
Well,
something.
she's not his wife.
Well, his old lady. There's a movie, I forget what it's called. Shit happens like that.
Interesting.
Yeah, and they pick up people on the side of the road. It's like a serial killer, but you know what I mean.
Wait, that was the one you said in episode 1, and you didn't say it had anything to do with Bonnie and Clyde when you were talking about it.
It don't
You
have
said
it don't have anything to do with
So what the
Bonnie
fuck's
and
that got to do with Bonnie and Clyde? Why would you bring it up now and
Clyde.
say it was based on
I guess
them?
it loosely. No, I said it loosely.
It's not loosely based on them at all.
I'd say it was like a Bonnie and Clyde character. Inspiration.
Okay, so what does that
An
got to do with Bonnie and Clyde?
I mean, inspiration. Because it has everything to do with Bonnie and Clyde because they set the mold for what we see today.
I don't think so.
Look at Natural Born Killers. That's Bonnie and Clyde all fucking day. Mickey and Mallory?
A little more sick, but yeah.
No.
Not really. I think Bonnie and Clyde still did some more fucked up shit than
Right.
Mickey and Mallory.
I would say as well.
Well, Jones was convicted of the murder of Joel Johnson and served a lenient sentence of 15 years. I guess it is lenient for a murder.
Wow.
He gave an interview to Playboy magazine during the excitement surrounding the 1967 movie, saying that in reality it had not been glamorous at all.
Hey.
Well, he was killed on August 4th, 1974, in a misunderstanding by the jealous boyfriend of a woman whom he was trying to help.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so he was trying to help some chick.
Oh.
And this dude's like, hey, you fucking this dude. It was the 70s, dude. I mean, 70s is a rough time in America.
Right. Methvin was convicted in Oklahoma of the 1934 murder of Constable Campbell at Commerce. He was paroled in 1942 and then killed by a train in 1948. Wow.
Oh, no.
He fell asleep drunk on the train tracks.
What the fuck kind of dude is this?
Although some speculated that he was pushed by someone seeking revenge. His father, Ivy, was killed in 1946 by a hit-and-run driver.
Holy shit, dude.
Whoa, okay. So he took out Ivy afterwards. Ivy knew a little something more. Wasn't supposed to. Decided to say, fuck it, I'm going to say something. And they're like, well, no, you're not.
Right. Did the Clintons exist back then? What's the Clinton timeline here?
I think it's probably pretty close.
But I don't think it would be the Clinton that does, what's the Rodham?
All right.
The Rodham family over
Right.
there. What are they doing in 1946?
Right. Parker's husband, Roy Thornton, was sentenced to 5 years in prison for burglary in the third,
That was her first husband that she still had a ring on when she died.
in March of 1933. Mm-hmm. He was killed by guards on the 3rd of 1937 in October.
Damn. In Eastham prison. So he was there in Eastham when Clyde went and broke out his little fucking buddies.
Supposedly during an escape attempt, they killed this guy.
Right. But he was there.
Something was going on here.
He was there when Clyde was breaking out all those other guys.
This could be another conspiracy theory where the government was like, "Hey, you guys go do some damage."
We're gonna take out anybody associated with fucking these guys.
Oh, they tell these two, just go. We're gonna pay you money. You just go. You do what you want. Just go do what you want. Do some damage in these 3-4 states here, and then whatever happens. You're probably gonna die, but your family's set for life. Like a conspiracy thing. They set them up. Bonnie and Clyde were fucking a showpiece.
Oh, you're saying the wait.
1930
Are you suggesting right now? Let me get this straight. What you're saying? You're suggesting that Bonnie and Clyde were hired guns, so to speak, by the government.
They needed something to
fucking
repair.
be martyrs, almost not
They needed
martyrs,
something
but
to repair prohibition. They needed something to repair the prohibition era. Everything. Nobody was trusting nobody.
How does this repair the prohibition era?
To repair their handling of,
Doesn't make any sense.
yeah.
This doesn't make any sense. The end result doesn't make any sense when they fired fucking 117 shots that hit the car, 130 total shots.
That part wasn't supposed to happen that way. But they wanted to make Bonnie and Clyde into, hey, this is what happened for what we did, and we were going to take care of this. Bam. We're sorry that we fucking did this.
What do they
shit.
have to make up prohibition for? I don't get it.
Make up for the shit show of prohibition. Prohibition was terrible. It fucked everything up.
So they hired Dillinger, Babyface Nelson, and fucking Machine Gun Kelly,
I
and
don't think
all
about
Pretty
those
Boy
guys,
Floyd,
no.
and all those fucking guys too.
No, I don't think so. I don't think they hired Bonnie and Clyde themselves, but I think multiple people there were integrated. I think Methvin was
Come on,
clearly
man.
infiltrated. It's a ploy by the government. They're like, we need something.
I usually get down with conspiracy theories, but this one's a little too far out.
We
there.
need something to get the American people back to fucking trusting in the government. Prohibition era didn't do it.
This is like Aliens.
Right.
I can't get down with Aliens. I'm not getting down with Bonnie and Parker. We're government.
Prohibition didn't do it, and we fucked up on that. So how about we fucking set these people out and fucking make a nationwide story out of them, and we fucking take them down.
That's a little far-reaching.
That's why it's called conspiracy theory.
Right.
I don't like that theory. I just heard it.
Heard it come from your own mouth.
Right. And I don't like it. That's what I was saying. I was like, this is fucking stupid. We just said that Roy
Thornton killed in an escape attempt, 1937.
Right. So that guy was supposedly moited in an escape attempt. Anyway, Prentice Oakley admitted to friends that he had fired prematurely. He's like, I did it. I fucking killed him. He succeeded Henderson Jordan as sheriff of Bainville Parish in 1940. So he's telling everybody, he's like, I'm the one that killed this motherfucker. Don't trust him. He was in the back. He couldn't even pick up his rifle.
Right.
We made fun of him for weeks.
Well, after this, Hamer returned to a quiet life as a freelance security consultant for oil companies. According to Gwynn.
Here's what we'll give you. We can't pay you $26,000, but we can let you make millions of dollars being a
He was
consultant
already
for
a consultant for oil companies.
Oh, was he?
Yes, that's where they found him. You not remember part one?
I don't remember part one.
Jeez.
That was a long time ago.
It was. Hamer returned to a quiet life as a freelance security consultant for oil companies. Well, according to Gwynn, his reputation suffered somewhat after Gibbsland. Because many people felt that he had not given Barrow and Parker a fair chance to surrender. Thank you.
I mean,
he made headlines again in 1948 when he and Governor Coke Stevenson unsuccessfully challenged the vote total achieved by Lyndon Johnson during the election for U.S. Senate.
Whoa.
Oh, wait. We got a Lyndon B. Johnson tie-in here.
Okay.
Lyndon B. Johnson enters the scene, hence
Right.
conspiracy theories.
All right, so we got Governor Coke Stevenson unsuccessfully challenge. That's what we got here. Okay.
The vote total, so they're saying Lyndon Johnson was stealing votes for governor or for senator.
Right.
Right, but after that, he died in 1955 at the age of 71 after several years of poor health.
No, the thing was, Lyndon Johnson was the one meant to go to that spot, and that guy was in the way.
Right.
And he got a little too popular.
Obviously, Lyndon, you had to have Lyndon in place to take
Right.
over for fucking
Right. JFK.
JFK, dude.
So this guy was like, "I'm sorry, Coke."
And that was in 1948.
like, dude, you're a good guy, but yeah.
That was in 1948.
Right.
They already
You're-
had that shit in motion
Right.
for, what, he got killed in 63? So,
Right.
fucking, 15 years before they're already planning this shit? Damn, dude. Government's slick, dude.
I mean, if you believe the conspiracy theory that they've been fucking grooming Obama since 1980.
Oh, right. Well, even 9/11 was supposedly planned years and years. Well, when they were 9/11, according to some 9/11 truthers, were planned when the buildings were built in like 71 or whatever. The whole plan for the buildings being built were one day these are going to be attacked. Enough with the conspiracy theories. Bob Elkhorn died on May 23rd, 1964, 30 years to the day after the Gippsland's ambush. He's like, it's been 30 years. I can fucking finally rest in peace. Sorry, guys.
30
The
years.
bullet-riddled Ford became a popular traveling attraction. The car was displayed at fairs, amusement parks, and flea markets for 3
Everywhere.
decades.
Making
Once
money.
became a fixture at a Nevada racetrack. There was a charge of $1 to sit in it. Oh, geez. All the blood still in it? The Ford was sold between casinos after being displayed in a Las Vegas car museum in the 80s. It was shown in Iowa, Missouri, and Nevada. Well, since 2011, the Ford has been on display at Whiskey Pete's, which we already said, and Primm, Nevada, which is near the border between California and Nevada along Interstate 15.
It's crazy shit, man. Sick people out there that
Sick
want to sit in
people.
a car of fucking
Of a fucking...
two slain
two-
criminals
Not only slain, but
murdered.
fucking...
Ambush.
Massacred.
Right. Texas Rangers, troopers, and Department of Public Safety officers honored patrolman Edward Brian Wheeler on the 1st of April in 2011. The 77th anniversary of the Grapevine murder, when the Barrow gang murdered Wheeler
Yes.
on Easter Sunday.
Easter Sunday.
We all know that. They presented the Yellow Rose of Texas commendation to the last surviving sibling. I think this is for you. 95-year-old Ella Wheeler McLeod, San Antonio, Texas, giving her a plaque and framed portrait of her brother. Oh, ain't that sweet?
Yes, they did.
Ain't that sweet? Where
Last-
they still feel bad in 2011 that they had to give her that. Hey, we fucked up.
Why do they feel bad?
That was
That was a patrolman that the fucking Bonnie and Clyde murdered. Her brother.
Right. They still feel bad.
Why do they feel bad?
They feel bad about everything.
They didn't do it.
All right. They still feel bad. It's fucking.
I don't understand. Do you even know what you say half the time?
It's reparation.
Why would they feel bad?
It's reparation culture.
I mean, God, it's not in 2011 yet.
It was.
Plus, she's white.
It was.
And there you have it, folks. The complete and factual story of Bonnie and Clyde.
You won't get a better one.
You won't get a better one because pretty much we covered every detail there is to cover. 26 times Parker was shot.
26 times, several headshots.
17 times Barrow was shot, including the fatal first shot fired from the whole gang right into his fucking dome. He was dead and took 16 more. 16 more, probably 3 or 4 others would have killed him anyways.
No matter, they each got like 3 to the head, so those are
3 to the
killing.
head, cut fucking Barrow's spine in half, and then, oh my gosh, dude. People clamoring to the spot, taking locks of hair, trying to cut off ears and fingers, and, dude, holy shit. But I guess, like I've been saying, not my only takeaway, but one of my biggest takeaways of this is, number one, Clyde is probably the dumbest fucking criminal we've covered so far in this series. The
wasn't very
dude had
smart.
no fucking sense. They didn't care. These guys are already on the run because they know their identities already, and they're fucking over there shooting off guns and partying
Dumb.
all hours of the night and being
Dumb.
stupid in a fucking town.
Dumb.
Bonnie is an idiot for staying with the guy after he flipped a car,
And burn half her
burned
body.
half her fucking leg off.
I mean,
Oh
come on.
my gosh, dude, this got to be the stupidest criminals I've ever fucking witnessed in my life.
Unless they're just fucking two fucked up people.
Like I said on part one, if we were doing the Bang and Dang show, the stupid criminal of the week twice in a row would go to fucking Bonnie and Clyde.
Right.
Actually, stupid criminal of the week would go to Bonnie and Clyde last week. Stupid fucking cops of the week would go to
Right.
Hamer and all his fucking guys
Right.
in this week because they did some pretty fucking dumb shit too.
That was pretty fucked up.
Towing a car through town
Wow.
with their bodies still fucking lunged
I mean,
over.
yeah, they fucked up from beginning to end.
Stupid.
Okay. Oh, man, we fucked up on just murdering these guys here, but okay, let's just fucking be respectable and take them into town. No, how about we just hook it up back to this tow truck and leave the doors wide open and just fucking roll through town? How about that? Sure, why
What
not?
was that one episode? Was it a Wild West one where the crowd was pissed at whatever was happening, and so to calm them down, they paraded the dead body of whoever it was they killed fucking
Right.
through the town. They were like, "Yay!"
That was, I forget what it
That's
was.
pretty much what the fuck just happened here.
But I don't remember what Bonnie and Clyde movie it was, but the one I seen, it was black and white. But when they're coming through town, there were people running up, like just grabbing, like ripping at their
sure
faces
they were,
and
dude.
shit, dude. Through the middle, down Main Street in town. You
Sure,
know what
they
I mean?
were.
I was like, oh my
Fucking
goodness,
crazy. What just this? This is a fucking crazy ass story.
fucking nuts. That might have even been Highwaymen when that happened.
Probably was. Yeah, that was probably like a
No, because Highwaymen wasn't black and white.
either or. It was probably a dramatization. They wanted to make it more drama filled than going down the street.
Right, and they're like, let's grab everything I can because they want
Right.
to make it seem like everybody wanted anything.
Well, they really did it at the scene, clearly, but not driving through the street, as far as we've been told here. But that's fucking Bonnie and Clyde, the most famous girlfriend-boyfriend outlaw duo in history ever.
Most likely.
There's been nobody before them and nobody after.
No.
Name me one other famous boyfriend-girlfriend fucking killer.
No, there's nothing like that.
None.
None.
It's none.
None.
Besides Mickey and Mallory.
Right.
It's the only two. And that's fake.
Right.
So
I don't know
hell
what
of
to tell ya.
hell of a start.
These guys could have easily gotten away with everything they fucking did because they had definitely enough money. They were just lunatics.
Like I said,
They could have easily got one with it did and just fucking took off. And been
like I
done.
said, young, dumb, and full of cum.
Right.
That's all they were, dude.
Fucking
They're just
morons.
fucking 22 years old, fucking going through town to
Right.
town, shooting their guns. It's like, who the fuck was it? Was it the Prohibition ones where they robbed the bank or whatever, and they were going through town, fucking tipping up bottles and fucking cheering at the townspeople before they rode away into the
Right.
forest?
What the
Remember?
fuck was
That was a
that?
Prohibition.
Yes.
Wasn't it the King of the Everglades guys?
I
Wasn't
forget
it?
what it was.
Wasn't
I
it?
don't know.
Yeah.
It was one of those fucking ones.
Yeah, dude. Like, fucking know the cojones on these guys. Jeez. Bonnie and Clyde. What a way to start off these 1930s / Public Enemy era of Outlaws and
Fortunately
Gunslingers.
for us, the next guys that were going to be a little bit smarter than these two, but still dumb because they got so big. Every single one of them got so big. There was like, well, I mean, there's so much you can handle. There's only so much you can cover up. Little shit gets them. Little shit gets you all the time. Got every single.
Well,
one of them.
look at how they got onto Bonnie and Clyde. They left the car up in the Jackson, Michigan, with all their fucking information in it, and that put them onto the fucking group.
Not only-
Ever since then, the stupid little thing about leaving a pill prescription bottle that
Pill
led back
prescription.
to Clyde's aunt,
Right.
and then boom,
Instant.
that sets
Boom.
off the whole thing.
Boom. They're like, oh,
Idiots.
Now everything makes sense.
Idiots.
It was like,
And then
that was
being
that-
loud at
there's-
the one
yep.
house where they pulled up on him, and then they had to escape. And then his brother's fucking parole papers that were left at the scene and all that shit. I mean, how stupid can these guys be? The dumbest criminals that we've had so far. I mean, has anybody explored this part of
they're dumb.
what we're saying?
Think about it.
Has anybody ever called the Clyde Barrow the dumbest criminal out of the famous fucking criminals? Because I think he very well maybe. Who was dumber than him?
Right. We should make a fucking a short of Bonnie and Clyde. Like for fucking how long's a short? What's it considered? Like,
10, 15, 20 maybe.
okay, so we'll go with like a 10-minute fucking clip of Bonnie and Clyde from beginning to end, and it'll just be a parody of funny shit. I guarantee it, and it'll be accurate.
What do you mean?
it would just be funny shit. Everybody would be laughing watching it. We'd be like, no, this actually happened. This is exactly what they did. See, we didn't have to write jokes because they wrote them for us, and we just put them on the screen. What do you mean?
I don't get it.
I mean, you don't get it.
I don't get it. Why would it be funny?
The stupid shit that they did, we're laughing as they're doing it. Imagine seeing it on screen and actually seeing it.
You know what that reminds me of?
It'd be great.
That's going to wrap up part 2 of Bonnie and Clyde. And I don't know. What should we do next week?
We'll figure it out. It's going to be something good. But we're getting closer and closer to the Mafia, which you all waiting for.
Well, we're in...
This ain't the Mafia yet.
I guess we're officially...
I mean, it is.
I guess we're officially Public Enemy number 1 era, which is 31 to 34, 5-ish.
Right.
So
Still,
we have to do...
Still organized crime and all that, but...
We have to do Dillinger, Nelson,
Definitely.
Floyd, or Machine Gun Kelly, or
Not
somebody
or.
like that. One of those. One of those.
Oh, next
one
show?
of those guys are next.
Next show, it'll probably be one of those guys.
One of those guys
One
are
of those
next,
names
so-
you just heard there. You'll
Right.
see it next week.
And, yeah, we're keep trucking along. We're keep moving along with this Outlaws and Gunslingers. We got plenty. We're only in the 30s, baby. We're only in the 30s. And that excludes all the Mafia guys that we have to cover from the 20s and 30s that we already said is going to be its own Mafia thing.
Right.
So, man, we got so much fucking shit going on here.
And don't forget, we're learning right along with you.
We are. This is not like we're never claimed to be experts at this. All the stuff that we're doing, we're learning with you. We're finding out. We're finding out all of this shit with you guys while we're sitting here talking about it. We're learning all this stuff with you. So,
Right. I mean, we've watched movies and all this good stuff.
obviously, movies dramatize things more than are necessary. So
You're not gonna learn too much of this stuff in the history books in school.
you're gonna get nothing but the facts here. I don't think I've ever learned about Bonnie and Clyde in school.
Right.
That doesn't happen. Doesn't
might
happen.
have happened.
That doesn't happen.
No, it's
you'll learn
probably-
about Bonnie and Clyde in school.
Well,
man.
I was in school when I learned about Bonnie and Clyde. I was attending school.
So
I wasn't in school.
that same could be said for when I learn something when I have a job, but I don't learn it at my job.
Right.
Well, I had a job, you know.
Back
I
when
learned it at work.
back when I used to work, I learned this.
Right.
What's that have to do with fucking?
Right.
What's that do
Right.
with toilets?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Bonnie and Clyde. Speaking of toilets, I don't know
Speaking
why
of-
they would
Speaking
correlate
of
to
toilet,
each other.
Speaking of that toilet, I'll tell you about the story about Bonnie and Clyde when I was at a restaurant one day fixing a toilet.
And I saw their picture hanging above it.
Well, and she actually came in and had to use the toilet there. And I
Right.
said, no, you're good. You're a tiny little thing. You're all right.
What's wrong with your leg?
So I burned it, sir.
Right. Bonnie and Clyde Part 2 and the whole series. Go make sure you guys go check out Part 1 because that's where all their killings and all their crimes happened. Obviously, that we just learned how they got shot down because of them.
Right.
So go check out Part 1 over there.
Bonnie took a lot of abuse during this
She
relationship.
really did. Well, not even like physical from Clyde, but unintentional
know of.
abuse. But
Well, probably not from Clyde at all because I think
Right.
he was
smitten with her.
right.
You know?
Smitten.
Yeah, we'll be back next week with one of those guys, Dillinger, Floyd, Nelson, Machine Gun Kelly. One of
don't
those
know.
guys will be back. So tune in. You already know what you know what we do over here.
Well, we got the Bang and Dang show.
If
though.
you like just random fucking talking shit like we've
Just right now.
been doing throughout the whole episode, go to Bang and Dang Show, available wherever you get your podcast. Just type in the Bang and Dang Show to pop right up, and that's what we do. We go over the weeks. If we feel like it, serious news stories,
Let's see what we got. Even
anything
that.
stupid happen in the politicians' worlds.
Right.
We talk about that for a minute.
No
Then
more
we
serious shit. It's gonna be dumb shit.
then we usually do not stupid news stories, but odd news stories
Odd.
and our usual stupid criminal of the week, sports history, music history, plus fucking whatever we feel like getting it. We always sidetrack to something else. So yeah, it's the Bang and Dang Show. And if you're a wrestling fan, which I'm sure you are, if you're
and new.
if you're finding out us from Mr. Joe Feeney, Creative Control Network, then I'm assuming you're some sort of wrestling fan.
Right.
We
Check
got
it
the
out.
Monday Night Watch Along series. Look that up. It's its own podcast, the Monday Night Watch Along, where we went back from the first ever Nitro, watched the main events of each show plus pay-per-views in between, give our rankings on who we think really won that week. And
Right.
guess what? We're in the middle of the 83 weeks, and it ain't 83 weeks
Nope.
for WCW. Although they got about
They are winning.
98% of those 83
The only
weeks
thing-
so far.
That's
so.
the only thing I can credit WCW for. They are winning.
They
right
are
now.
winning according to us. But yeah, we do the little watch alongs. You guys can watch along with us while we do each main event from each week. Right now, we're in week 97. We're inching towards that 100th episode where Luger takes on Hogan for the heavyweight championship on Nitro, which is episode 100, which will be, and everybody knows the outcome of that that match.
Yeah.
And we're heading into Starrcade, Montreal Screwjob. Dude, 97 is fucking about to pick up for us.
We got Kane, and we got
Kane's coming.
Goldberg.
It's soon, really soon. Goldberg's already been doing dark matches on all the Nitros that we've been watching. So
we got Bret Hart and fucking WCW coming
out. He's coming. So that's Monday Night Watch Long, and
gonna be good shit.
We'll be back next week for Outlaws and Gunslingers. We're the Multi Michiganders with
Bang Dang.